welcome to a solo edition of Mark My Words. Today, I want to talk about my summer, and it's been a summer of relaxation, but it's also been a summer of change. And while I have been working very hard, it's still been relaxation, been trying to take a little bit of time away from the podcast and do other things and be recreational, but I still have to go to work every day. And speaking of going to work every day, I will no longer be taking that 2 hour, really 4 hours a day commute to work. It's 2 hours one way into the big city. As you may know from listening to episodes of Mark My Words, I have to get up pretty early in the morning, commute all the way into the city from where I live, and do what was a very mentally taxing job, and then come home. And I love doing the podcast, so I've been doing that. It's been a really crazy schedule, and as luck may have it, I managed to land not only a job working from home, but I also managed to land a dream job, in my field of broadcasting, working for a very highly regarded network, and I couldn't be more excited, more happy, and frankly, this is probably the most relaxed and chilled out I've been in a really long time. And I'm not necessarily doing this episode to talk all about that, but really the impact that not only landing this type of job has had on me and what it means to me, but I also want to talk a little bit about how telling this news to people has really opened up my eyes to just how much support I have behind me. And let me really just explain. So, for me to be working from home is really great. I'm sure that's something a lot of people want. But now I don't have to travel such a far distance every day. Again, doing what I've been doing for a few years without much of a break, it has gotten to be very physically exhausting, mentally exhausting, and I've only been working from home a few days, and I'm already feeling a huge difference. I feel like a different person. I feel like I'm me again, whereas I don't feel like I was quite as much myself, just grinding through life like I had been. And I think that's really going to change my life. I think it's going to really help me to not only be the person I want to be in general, I think it's going to help me to be the employee that I want to be. And I couldn't be more excited to bring that kind of energy and positivity and really my absolute true self to not only my employer, but also to my podcasts and all the projects that I'm doing, because I'm going to be very honest, and I know I've been pretty frank while doing this podcast. There's been quite a few days where I've been pretty exhausted and have been pushing myself through and holding myself up to a certain standard and holding myself up to a schedule and committing myself to doing all these episodes and committing to my guests. And while doing that has been really fulfilling and satisfying, it's been pretty exhausting. So for me to take all that travel out of my schedule and now be able to just be so well rested, be in the frame of mind I want to be in all the time to do all these projects that I love doing, like this podcast, I am thrilled to death. And I also want to talk a little bit about what I'm seeing. So, what I'm seeing when I post on social media that, hey, I'm working from home, hey, I got a job at this really great company, and it's nice to talk about myself, it's nice to put that out there. I mean, I've worked so incredibly hard in my life and in my career. I've overcome so much, and it's really taken a lot of work and a lot of growing and a lot of just being in touch with myself just to get to where I'm at today and to have the frame of mind to really push myself, to believe in myself, to even be in the position that I'm in. It's taken an incredible amount of work. And I myself have gone on social media and have just spread the word that I these things are going on in my life, and you would not believe the response that I've gotten. Now, I have a little bit of a following on LinkedIn, and a lot of times when you announce that, oh, I got a new job, you might get like, I don't know, 10, 15 people to reply. But I so far, just in the past day, have gotten way more than I can count. And just going on Facebook and talking to my friends about what I'm doing and getting all that feedback about how great it is. And I know one friend of mine from high school who I haven't even seen in 20 years. And it's amazing to me what they said. And they said, kind of paraphrasing, that I don't half-ass anything that I do. And for somebody who hasn't actually been around me during my professional career, but have just followed me as a friend and have been in contact with me a little bit, saying something like that to me when I pride myself in being such a hard worker, that meant the world to me because that's how I see myself. So if other people are seeing all these good things about me, then, and that I'm also seeing in myself, then I know, at least personally, I feel like I know I'm in touch with myself and I'm on the right track. And part of the influence for this episode, I should mention, I was thinking about doing something like this anyway, but Lila Smith, who has been a guest on Mark My Words, she is the founder of Say Things Better. She does a lot of other incredible things, such a strong presence, positive presence on social media. I encourage you to follow her on LinkedIn and anywhere else you may find her on Say Things Better, or if you just want to go to one of her seminars about saying things better, or one of her, I don't even know what you would call it. Seminar was the first word that came to my mind, but she does a lot of things where she coaches and helps people to say things better. She's always posting such great posts on LinkedIn, and actually talking about yourself is one of the things that she was posting about. I know she has something coming up soon to help people to talk about themselves better. And coinciding with that, she did a post talking about that, encouraging people to talk about themselves. And I chimed in, and one thing led to another. I talked about what was going on in my life. She encouraged me to talk about myself, and I can't, and not only to talk about myself, but talk about what's been going on and do it in a podcast episode. So that's part of the reason I'm here now. And I really just want to take a moment to talk about how important what Lila is doing is, because I know personally I've come such a long way and it's been such a struggle for me with all the issues, all the things that have gone on in my life, to overcome what I've overcome, and to be able to not only have so much success, but to be able to talk about it and be the positive person that I am, to have the frame of mind that I have. It's pretty amazing. And she encouraged me to just come on here and talk about what all of this means to me. And I don't even know if I have the words really or can really articulate what all of this in the grand scheme of things means to me. I just know that it's going to change my life. It's going to give me more time. Like, I'm getting time back. I've spent so much time driving and commuting and being in an office, while I would rather have at least had the time to take a walk, stretch my legs, get some air, enjoy my life, do things that I enjoy, spend time at home, and to just take care of myself in a way that is kind of hard to do when you're in an office and you're committed to being in that environment and committed to being on their time. So I'm still on somebody's time, don't get me wrong, but I'm doing it while also being on my time too. And just after 1 or 2 days of working from home, I'll tell you, it has made a huge difference. And I just don't think that I can really even see yet just how much of an impact this is going to have. But this is what I see after a few days. And really, I want to wrap up this episode by saying, look, I've had so many obstacles up against me in my life. I'm born with cleft lip and palate. I've had people teasing me or not really giving me a chance through all phases of life. I've had, mental blocks through the entire time. I've had so much going on and so many ups and downs, and somehow I have managed to be here today. And for anybody who is going through the same kind of thing or isn't sure if they can accomplish the same thing, I am telling you right now, if I can accomplish all the things I've done in my life with all the obstacles that I've had up against me and can be here today and can be standing where I am, you can do it too. And I think above all else, that is what all this means to me. It is me taking this platform and passing on this message to all of you and to anybody who is questioning their life, doubting their talent, doubting what they're capable of. Don't. Don't doubt yourself. And when I go back and think 20, 25 years ago, and I think about where I wanted to be today and why I wanted to be here today, I mean, yeah, telling my story and talking about what I've been through is part of it, but I think the other part was actually accomplishing all these goals that I've had. I still have plenty of personal goals I want to accomplish. I still want to write a book. I still would love to produce or direct or write my own show or movie. There are so many things I still want to do. And even with that said, I have accomplished so much and I'm still motivated. I'm still driven. And there is always something that you can be shooting for and shooting for a goal. And we all have value. We all have somewhere that we belong. We all have something to give. And without rambling on for another 5 minutes, that's really all I can say is just keep believing in yourself. Take it little by little if you have to in order to reach the ultimate goal, but don't stop believing in yourself. We all are capable of doing something great, and I know that firsthand because I am where I am. I've got an absolute dream job, and I'm doing it from the comfort of my own home. Two big goals I've had for myself accomplished after all this hard work, and hard work pays off. So I'm going to leave this episode on that note. Keep working hard. Get a mentor if you have to. Just don't give up on life. Don't give up on your goals and your dreams. Anything is attainable. Anything is possible. I am Mark Schmidt. This was a solo edition of Mark My Words. And if you want to find me online, hit me up on LinkedIn at Mark A. Schmidt. I think it's linkedin.com/Mark A. Schmidt. Or just search for Mark Schmidt, M-A-R-C as you know, Schmidt. I'm also on Instagram, Nimrod79, Mark My Words 6. I'm also on Twitter, Nimrod1979. And that is it for this episode. Keep your head up. Keep striving for your goals and your dreams. I'm Mark Schmidt, and this was a solo edition of Mark My Words. See you next time.